Hey guys, it's been quite some time since I got a little crafty and made something, and it's February right now, and we got word of what the theme is for Midsummer Scream. So one of the haunts is going to be featuring Evil Dead, and I know I love creating those Grimoire books, the evil spell books that I've posted on my channel in the do-it-yourself part of the playlists. And so I wanted to make the Book of the Dead, and I'm really excited about it because I've always wanted to make it anyway, so it's a good challenge for me. So simple, got a book. This is a journal book. It's just brown, plain journal book. I got paper clay. I got a glue gun with glue sticks and some other little nifty things that will help out. And paper towels, paint, all those little fun embellishments. I want to do is actually put some of the pages of the book in the book. So that will be fun and new for me as well. So follow along as I make this Evil Dead Book of the Dead.
Here are the things I mentioned that we'll be using to make this book. The first thing I did was print out a couple pictures from the movie of the book I wanted to do. After that, I used some chalk and I kind of just traced out and sketched about what I wanted it to look like. I used my hot glue gun and I traced over what I just sketched. This way it kind of gave a raised appearance, and it would be easy for me to add the clay on top of that. After that, I decided to start using the paper clay. I would put a little tiny bit of glue down and put the clay on top of it, smoothed it out, and then I would add texture, bumps, lumps, scratches, all those little things that added that little bit of extra detail to it.
All right, you don't want ever straight edges. You want the rough edges. And then what I like to do is make it super thin, like this. And then you have a thinner paper towel. That way, if it's thinner, that was satisfying. It will show more of your details that you carved into your clay.
So I just used that Mod Podge and would put a layer down, and then on top of that the same thing, and I'd use a little sponge brush and just add in all those little crevices and nooks and crannies, and really got it in there. And went layer over layer over layer. I liked putting extra on there and squishing it up. It made it look like a skin texture. If I were to do this again, I use the shop blue paper towels. They don't have as much decoration to that paper towel, so next time I will use that. But I still am very happy on how it turned out. The next step was paint after it dried. I used a few different types here to see what I liked. I actually chose to go with the leather dye. I really liked how it soaked deep dark in some sections and then kept light on the upper sections. And then I just patted it dry if it was oversaturated. The one thing about the leather dye is it just takes a little bit more time to dry, which I had time.
All right, I set this out to dry, and I'm gonna do some dry brushing now over it.
So now it was the dry brushing part. So I added a couple little different areas on the high points to do some dry brushing. It just gave it that little bit of extra depth and detail. And then I used black paint and I went inside the eyes, the mouth, and the nose.
So I've been looking at this picture straight from the movie, and this one is straight from the movie. And I think I did pretty well. The only thing that I wish I did better was the mouth is a little bigger
than the mouth I made. So that's why I kind of want to make another one with different paper towels, and maybe I'll make the mouth a little bigger, but that's just me and my picky self. I'm just trying to make it the right size with the hands and the picture and everything. I don't think that's too bad though. Now that this is completely dry, I need to do the back side of it. And so what I'm planning on doing is doing exactly what I did on the front, but I'm gonna add this little stand up here on the top. You can fold it flat. That way when you wanna have the book on display, it will be just slightly elevated rather than flat. So if it's on a desk, it kind of looks cool. You can see it a little bit. Here's my little messy workstation. That's it. All my little things I've made and done. Other things that I need to make. My sign hangs here. This is where it retires. All my crazy things. Anyways, it will sit there while I go to work and dry. So there's this guy who made his own Book of the Dead, and he has all the pages he recreated for his own book, free of use. Of course, I am not selling this book. This is for me. And yeah, this is his website, and it says it's his and we can use them for free. This is his website right here. Isn't that super nice of him to do that? So what I did is I went ahead and downloaded all of them, and I'm going to add some red coloring to some of them, and then I'm going to print them all out. It's like the Book of the Dead is possessed my computer. Once my computer was back to normal, had to call some help out, I decided to print out all those pages. Be sure you have enough ink in your printer. And then I decided to tea stain it, or I used coffee in this case, just to make them look a little bit more aged. And then I put them out in the sun and let them dry for a while. This way it just had a little bit more of a weathered look. I'd crinkled some up, I tore the edges, I did a whole bunch of things just to make the pages look old. I even rubbed it in the dirt. I even added a little bit of blood splatter with food coloring. Red food coloring works great for this. After they were completely dried, I used some paste, and then I would glue the paste down on the pages with a paintbrush, and like so, I would sandwich the other page on the other side and overlapping the middle crease. This way they actually felt really thick, which was a fun, neat feature to it. And then also, you didn't have the journal pages showing. I thought it would be cool to keep it as a journal, so I only did about 10 or I think 15 pages in the front, and then I left the rest a journal. You could do the whole book if you wanted to. And maybe I'll do that next time. If I were to do this again, I'd glue the pages in first and then rip the edges.